Happy Christmas, everyone, and welcome to BLEACH, episode 38, Thousand Year Blood War Arc 4, Friend. We're finally covering the end parts of Volume 69 and Volume 70, skipping right over Volume 71 because we already covered that, and now we have only 3 volumes left to do the entirety of the last 2 episodes of Season 3, or Core 3, and an entire season to do just 3 volumes. 3 volumes. You know what that means, ladies and gentlemen? That means we're getting a lot more content because I was a little mistaken. I was a little mistaken because between rereading this, and I think this is just something that is much better paced and hits harder, and just certain things, as I've discussed many, many times, work better visually versus reading, right? Like, there are some things in Harry Potter that work so much better in the books than they do in the movies, and vice versa, right? Just as a perfect example. And that goes for anything from paper or print to the big screen. I believe that in almost every context. And there are so many examples of that. And right here, I just think that because I thought that this whole episode, which it was going to be all about Bazby and Hashwall, or Baz and Jugo. And it was, but with no real expansion on anything. Realistically, a little bit, maybe, a couple of quick still shots, a couple of, a little bit more monologuing, but overall, panel by panel, we just covered 69 and 70, how we skipped it in the last few episodes. We skipped over that and we did volume 71 and such like that, and we covered the other sections of 69 and 70. Realistically, we didn't add anything. And you know what? That's okay. Because I think maybe it's because it was a chapter to chapter. When I was reading, it was week to week. So maybe something got lost there. Because as barring even the idea of going from print to screen, we also have the week to week versus the binge reading. That many manga lovers will tell you is an entire thing in and of itself. That, for example, I remember everybody, absolutely everybody, and nobody can say this with a straight face. In One Piece, Whole Cake Island dragged like a motherfucker. Nobody was happy with the pacing from a week-to-week reading basis, plus breaks. Upon a reread and a binge read, doesn't feel that long, does it? And everybody praises Whole Cake now. But at the time, that was a huge contention in the community, one which I agreed with. I was tired of Sanji baking this goddamn cake. Meanwhile, that does not last very long if you actually binge read it. So, just alone, week to week versus volume reads is an entire different experience, let alone putting it to the screen. And I really do think that when I said, yeah, Bazby, Hashwall, they didn't really have, it was a really rushed backstory. It was like, boom, boom, okay, they met as kids, they're going to kill Yuha, all of a sudden they're not, and boom, now we're here, right? No, that's not how it happened, and with an anime episode, you feel every line. Because every line is spoken aloud, you don't skim through it, you don't read it so fast, and panel by panel, you have to take seconds to actually watch. You can't just, flip, right? And that's why nothing was really needed to be added. And I am glad, however, that they moved this. I am glad that they took the volumes, right? And they said, listen, we're going to put the whole Bazby, Hashwall, plus their fight in the present and their backstory, boom, all in one episode. That's how we're going to do it. And it worked out fantastically. I have this weird feeling, and I was hoping for this one change, this one edit in this episode, because the episode just follows the manga, basically beat for beat. And we never did get a single tear from Hashwall. Never any indication that he felt bad for killing Basby, right? Because, spoilers, end of the episode, he was his only friend. And, of course, the indication that's still not left out of the anime nor the manga is his uncle. Well, listen, maybe I'm reading too much into it because I read Berserk recently, but yeah, no. Jugo was unfortunately a very you-know-what style of abused child by his uncle. Unfortunately. So, there's a lot to unpack there, but Basby was his literal first friend, the only person who actually gave a shit about him without gaining something in return, sort of idea. And they worked together, and they trained hard. 5 years they were together. 5 years. See, in the manga, that's just sort of, boom, it's one panel. 5 years later, boom. And we don't even stop to consider it, but in the anime, in this episode, when we're being monologued this, like, we spent 5 years together, you know, it hits harder, and then you sort of recognize it's like, these guys have been together a very long time, out on their own, with no one, you know, just a little bit of added context, the little bit of monologuing from an anime standpoint helped to elevate this backstory. And now I realize that it didn't need anything else in it because it already had all the elements. It's just our reading comprehension. It's just the taking the time to read it panel by panel, page by page at a slow enough pace. And week to week, we're all guilty of it, myself included. And I think that the anime episode did a fantastic job of just showcasing it. Now, as I said, once the episode ended and we didn't get a tear, I had this crazy thought. Hashwall. And this is not a complete, perfect theory whatsoever. However, Hashwall at this point has shared His Majesty's powers, right? So he's seen the future in glimpses and this, that, and the other thing, right? Hence, what's going to happen later. I wonder, there is one problem with this theory, but I wonder if Hashwall not only saw what he saw as Yuha's, okay, spoiler alert, 1, 2, 3, Yuha's defeat at Ichigo's hands by Zangetsu, original Zangetsu. But he saw the future that led up to this, and that's why he did everything he did. Basby could not have killed Yuha and was going to die anyways, and that might have created a worse outcome. So I am curious, Hashwall, with the Almighty's knowledge, did he do this knowing it was going to lead to their inevitable goal, which was, Jugo, you and I are going to kill Yuha. Someday, somehow, we're going to do this. And Hashwall couldn't tell Basby that everything he's doing, including killing him, is all for the sake of their goal as friends. Even the title of the episode is Friend. I mean, end, but you get it. I don't know if Kubo was playing at that sort of, like, that double entendre. Like, do you want to believe that that's what Hashwall was doing, or do you want to believe he was just a dick? I mean, you know, because even when he was looking at Basby, and after 5 years together, over 5 years together, one little look of fucking contention and being like, oh, what the hell, like why are you over me? I'm the talented one, sort of idea. That one little look really ruined 5 years. See, I don't buy that, or Jugo's just that much of an untrusting dick. But either way, I just find the entire concept of Hashwalt actually seeing the future and remembering his original goal. This is never touched upon in the manga. I'm curious if that Kubo thought about that, or if that's going to be brought up at all, because it never occurred to me while reading the manga, week to week and volume to volume. But after seeing this episode, I am curious, is Hashwalt actually playing the Ginichimaru? Is he playing the long game? He's got to kill literally everyone. He's got to be the villain just for the sole purpose of winning the war. Their goal was to kill Yuha. In the end, Hashwald's actions did inevitably end up killing Yuha. So I'm just wondering, was that intentional? With his having the almighty powers briefly, was he able to view that? Or having at least the future sight, was that part of the game? You know? So, anyways, that's only a theory. That's only my thought. As I said, the only problem with this theory is that the moment that Hashwalt, becomes the subordinate of Yuha, he immediately stops Basby's arrow as a child and be like, no, not at all, sort of idea, right? So a little bit of a break in there, maybe a break of trust. There's a lot of things going on there. Obviously, trust is very fragile with Hashwalt for obvious reasons, but after 5 years, you'd think that maybe something better. Anyways, that's just what I took away from the episode. But what do you guys think about that theory, and what did you think of the episode? I thought it was great. I'm glad that we finally covered up the last bits of 69 and 70. 71's already done with, and we'll move on to volume 72 for the next episode. So, I mean, as I said, that's fantastic, because it means we only have these last 3 volumes, right? We only have 3 volumes left, and we have 2 entire episodes left of this season, plus an entire other at least 12 episode season. We're getting more than just this content, I'm just telling you, because if you were to put all this in episodic format, 3 volumes worth, I mean, I'm sorry, that could be covered in 6-7 episodes. Easy, without anything added. So, ladies and gentlemen, we are ready to cook. But yeah, that's it for me. Hope you guys are going to enjoy your holiday season. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe as always. Of course, we will be back here. It might be a little late like this one is, and like all my videos are anyways. But due to, Christmas lands on a weird time sort of idea this year, landing on I think a Wednesday. Anyways, but yeah, I hope you guys just enjoy your holiday season, however you choose to spend it. Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, all that fun jazz to whatever you are celebrating. Just have good drink, good friends, good family, and good food. And I hope no matter where you are in the world and whatever you are doing for this holiday season, I just hope you have a good one. That's all I can ask for here near the end of the year. So thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, as I already said. And we'll see you all back here for episode 39 of Bleach. Thousand Year Blood War Arc. Looking forward to it. Hope you guys are too. See you back here next time. Sayonara. Merry Christmas.